Hello everyone and welcome to a new weekly show from PCGamesN, The Weekend Escape, where we're going to tell you everything that's happened in PC gaming over the last 7 days. This is Murray, the Dawn of War Skull. I'm your boy, Ben Barrett.
And I'm your gal, Al. So we'll be telling you everything that's gone on this week, from Tacoma to what's been buffed and what's been nerfed in League of Legends. What have they done to my mid laners, Ben?
I have no idea, and nobody else does either until we get to that portion of the show. For now, let's have a look at the news. Alice, everyone and their mother has attempted to sue Rockstar.
I'm not sure that's quite true, is it, Ben?
No, it is. I've done it. Lindsay Lohan's done it, and there's 2 of her, so that's twice the money. However, in this case, it's the Psychic Readers Network who are going after them for the portrayal of Auntie Poulet in GTA Vice City.
But didn't that come out in 2002?
Yep, I know, right? And PRN claim that they've spent $100 million putting all of this money into Miss Cleo,
right,
whom they own the rights to,
right,
and that Rockstar made about 5 times that amount from GTA Vice City and her portrayal in it.
I was wondering who the father of my baby was.
All right, let's take a look. The Miss Cleo DNA test.
So, are you telling me those TV psychics aren't actually psychic?
That's not the point.
Well, I feel like it is the
listen.
point. I feel like it is.
Psychics are real. Moving on.
Well,
the point is, Rockstar did actually hire the actress that plays Miss Cleo to portray Auntie Poulet. So the lawsuit is probably a bit more concrete than Lindsay Lohan's claim that anyone who's blonde and interested in social media is in fact her.
Right, yes. That was kind of ridiculous, wasn't it? But you know what's not ridiculous?
No.
No?
Why isn't it ridiculous?
The $23 million Dota 2 tournament, the International, has started.
It is a highlight of many an esport calendar.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's the finale event of a year's worth of Dota 2 professional tournaments, and right now there's a huge prize to be won. The group stages have already started, and you can watch it right now.
Please finish watching this video. We put a lot of time and effort into it. But were I to want to go and do that, where would I do so?
On Twitch, of course, everybody's favourite live streaming platform. There's 4 main streams, and you can watch them in English, Russian, and Chinese.
I'm excited. That's exciting.
I'm excited. You know what else is exciting, Ben? No?
Eating
is exciting, but
video games.
That's not what...
Well, go on.
The video game, Tacoma, the long-awaited game from the Gone Home devs, is finally released this week.
That took about 400 years, if my clocks are correct.
Yeah, it was delayed because it was too much like Gone Home.
Okay.
So what
presumably they've made some sort of super violent FPS now then.
I wasn't even there! Turn your fucking mic off. I wasn't even there! Mom, oh my God!
The Bears, turn your mic off.
No, Ben, it's not a super violent FPS. They have just taken the augmented reality stuff that were going to be isolated like a video audio diary.
I see.
And they've now changed them to become the core mechanic of the game.
Okay, so it was Gone Home, but in space, and now it's sort of Gone Home, but in space.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The consensus at Fulbright was that they weren't pushing their ideas far enough. And even being 2,000 miles away from Earth with no air supply and no way of calling for help, that wasn't far enough.
2,000 miles from home without oxygen sounds pretty incredibly interesting and very, very stressful. Not a situation I particularly love to be in. But, you know, for a walking simulator, that seems a bit weird, and maybe that's just not the right term for them.
I don't think it is the right term for them, because goodness knows, Ben, there are so many deep, gripping and emotional, narrative-driven exploration games. There you go, I've come up with a new name for them.
It's super catchy too, yeah. I think, great job.
Thank you.
Here are the 5 most heart-wrenching and weepy walking sims, I'm going to have to stick with it, I apologise, that we've ever played.
In the depths of Shoshone National Forest, no one can hear you cry. No one except Delilah, of course, who stays in contact with you via a walkie-talkie in Firewatch. She's your only break from the piercing isolation of the forest, but how you develop your relationship with her is entirely up to you and your own emotions. As you wander between the trees and fail to stay put in your tower watching out for fires, you can raise your walkie-talkie and chat to Delilah about what you see. Or not, should you have no interest in human relationships. The multiple dialogue options will help shape your bond. Conversation is at its sublime best when you and Delilah are feeling out each other's personalities, gradually learning what makes each other laugh and, since you work in towers miles apart, guessing at what each other look like. Just be wary of where you take that relationship though. You have a wife suffering from early onset dementia at home. Can your heart bear the repercussions of your words?
Inspired by 1990s FBI shows like Twin Peaks and The X-Files, Virginia asks that you investigate the disappearance of Lucas Fairfax. Dealing with such a case as your first assignment is enough to make any rookie federal agent fragile, but it's actually Virginia's fantastic design that'll have you all emotional. Virginia is a love letter to not only the themes and atmosphere of film and cinema, but the actual construction of it. At just 2 hours long, it's lean and to the point, but it crams far more into the brief running time than pretty much any other game. This is thanks to its scene changes. Like a movie, Virginia will cut from one scene to another, transporting you across time and space to new areas as the story demands it. There's no meandering from point A to point B here, you're always wherever the story needs you.
Gone Home is the true vintage classic walking simulator. The story of a young woman who returns to her childhood home to find it abandoned of all but memories. It set a new bar for narrative exploration. As you gradually move from room to room, piecing together the histories of the Greenbrier family, the initial sense of dread and unease gives way for endless intrigue. Each new piece of evidence as to what happened to your family fixes together a jigsaw puzzle of family drama. From illicit affections to domestic abuse, there's a mountain of emotions to clamber your way up. Thankfully though, shining in all the darkness is the twinkle of fairy lights, a story of hope that will guide you through all this interpersonal strife.
Gone Home has been accused by its detractors, Alice, as pretending to be a horror game. If genuine scares are what you're searching for in your walking sims, look no further than Soma. A sci-fi from the people behind Amnesia: The Dark Descent, it takes the mandatory walking sim elements of putting one foot in front of the other and finding items that tell a story, then combines them with a little stealth. Soma is set on Pathos 2, an abandoned underwater research facility. As you gather clues and attempt to discover what's happened during your unfortunate time in a coma, you'll find that the station's robots all talk as if they were human. Tension grows as a thick, heavy sense of doom rolls in, and you'll be lucky to walk away without some kind of psychological damage. Trust us, it's all worth the inevitable crack in your mental framework.
The pinnacle of the genre is, without question, What Remains of Edith Finch. While the story starts very much like Gone Home, with a young woman returning to her abandoned childhood home, the way Edith's tale is told is entirely different. As you explore the house, room by room, you'll live out the lives of generations of the Finch family in magical little vignettes. Each vignette tells its story in a radically different manner to the last. You'll enter the mind of a little girl who thinks she's a cat, pouncing from branch to branch of the trees that hang over the Finch estate. 5 minutes later, you'll explore the life of a vintage movie star, told through the pages of a comic book. And, before Edith's story is over, you'll have seen how her brother escaped into a fantasy realm to flee his own problems. Each story, despite being a mere snapshot of life, is told with such unflinching honesty you can't help but feel the tears begin to form.
And now it's time for the top 3 Steam deals of the week. I'm going to kick us off with Depth, because who doesn't enjoy being stuck 1,000 leagues under the sea while an angry shark tries to make a gourmet meal out of you?
Me. I definitely don't.
Alright, fair point. It's 75% off at the moment though, so, you know, it's at least cheap to get eaten, and is a multiplayer game where a team play as divers exploring the ocean. The previously mentioned shark is also played by a human, so it's good for all kinds of fun cat and mouse tension.
What, wait, so the shark is played by a human, so it's a person in a shark suit hanging around at the bottom of the ocean trying to eat people?
Alice, please, just stop.
Yeah, but what?
Stop.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I think the game the lovely viewers actually want to play is Day of Infamy, which is...
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
It's 45% off right now. It's a World War II shooter made by the folks who did Insurgency, which means there's plenty of attention to detail, and it's brutally unforgiving. The objective-based gameplay means it's great for teamwork, so perfect to play with your soldier pals this weekend.
Friends? Who needs those?
Most people.
If, like me, you plan on doing some deep solitary thinking this weekend, you need Shadow Tactics. This samurai-focused strategy game is basically the feudal Japan answer to Commandos and has been discounted by 30%.
Ooh.
For your money, you'll get one of the best stealth games around. It's led by a really likeable bunch of characters, provided you can look past them all being blood-soaked killers.
Lovely.
Which I often do. Alice, you look really quite worried. Is it the samurai?
No, Ben. No. I'm pondering a dilemma.
Okay.
So, patch notes are like quite exciting, right?
Yes, incredibly new, shiny things that we all love.
But the way that they're written is just so like boring. I mean, look at this.
Well, I think you'll find that on page 44, there it is, hilarious.
No. I think there just must be an easier way of making this way more fun. Right then, Ben.
Okay.
I'm going to give you
Right.
10 whole seconds to tell
All the time in the world.
all the time in the world to tell us everything that went on in League of Legends this week.
Okay.
Starting from 3, 2, 1, go.
Balance changes to Brand, Caitlyn, probably a bunch of others too. There was also new skins called Battle Boss skins for Malzahar, Ziggs, Brand.
Stop. I mean, I feel like that was a bit...
I did really quite well.
You didn't really reel off that many, did you?
Okay, depends whose rules you're playing by.
Mine.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds to tell me all of those new units that came to Total War Warhammer without looking at the script that's at your feet.
Oh, okay.
Let's count how many times she looks at the script at her feet, everyone.
Well,
starting now.
the Eye of Morsabe, the Defenders of... something. The Companions of the Quenelles, the Knights of the Lionheart, the Defenders of the
That counts as
Fleur-de-Lis,
at least 3.
the Destroyers of the
She's
Drakon.
run out of time, but
they're
nobody's-
so long. The names are so long. Anyway,
This is just because you don't
I
know-
had
you don't
12
know
to
anything about
remember.
Warhammer.
and I remembered none. I tried really hard and I failed. Story of my life.
Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it roll.
That's quite enough of putting those drama queen PC games in the spotlight. Instead, we're going to focus on the rational, sensible internet commenters of the world.
Yes, this is the part of the show where we go through your comments that you've left on our channel over the past week and we'll read them out and we'll reply to you personally, face to face. We've got one from Noel Lehman on our Wolfenstein 2 video saying, the dulcet tones of Ben's voice are the perfect accompaniment to death and mayhem. Of course, he's actually talking about the other Ben and not you.
No.
But I mean, he could be talking about you.
He could,
if that's
because
what
I
he
have
wants.
lovely dulcet tones that go incredibly well with death and mayhem. Speaking of which, Rockstar on the same video says, I think the rotating shotgun might be my pick, and let me tell you, Rockstar, I agree wholeheartedly.
Over on our 5 things you need to know about Dauntless video, Black Sun Accounts says, a ranged weapon that harnesses the elemental power of the monsters would be cool. That would be very cool, especially if the element was grenades.
The element of good. If you have something sensible to say, for example, anything not involving the phrase element of grenades, then please do leave a comment either here or on one of our other videos this week, and we'll get back to you next time. It'll be like one of those kind of weird body swap movies where we're talking in your voice, but without any sort of satisfying conclusion.
Talking of conclusions, that's everything from the Weekend Escape this week, and now we can go and bury ourselves in Steam for 2 whole days.
Before you leave and forget we exist for 48 hours, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons because they quite literally keep our life support systems working.
They really do.
Bye.
Bye!
Well, that's the jingle.
That's the jingle.